Welcome into the Vol Out Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan, here with my co-host, Billy. How you doing tonight, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, man. Just glad to be back on again.
Yes, sir, man. It's always a good night when we get on, talk a little Vols, talk a little ball. It's always fun. Always. So, buddy, our basketballs, they've kind of turned it on here the last week or two, week and a half or so, haven't they?
But it was been due time, man. I mean, they had to turn it on eventually, man. You can't be the number one team in the country and stay being inconsistent. And I like that they turned it around.
Yeah, man. They really, it started with that Florida game, man. We'll dive into that for just a minute. That last game, man, when we played Florida in Florida, that was kind of concerning because we looked terrible, terrible. Could not hit that place with a truck. Got ran out of the gym by just whipped us, man. Whipped us.
Well, and I kind of projected that we were going to get beat,
You
but
did.
I never would have thought that we got beat that bad. And of course, Florida, they would not miss it, man. They was on fire that night. So I don't think anybody would have beat Florida that day.
I think that was one of those games where it was kind of they played their best, we played our worst, and that was the result. But last we played them Saturday before last, and played them in Thompson-Boling, and man, they undermanned nonetheless. 7 scholarship players. Z was out, Milicic was out with the flu. Buddy, they just come out and we whipped them. I mean, it wasn't a 30-point whipping, it was 20, but
20,
whipping's a whipping.
bad. I mean, anytime it's 10 points or more, it's a blowout in college basketball now because, every game now it's March Madness. College basketball, anybody can win any given day.
Absolutely, man. We're 10 days into February. It's the February frenzy, as they like to say. You got bubble teams starting to get it together, bubble teams starting to fall apart. You got teams at the top starting to kind of position themselves to get that one of those top 3 seeds in whatever region, and we're getting there, man. We're getting there. Then we follow that up later on in the week with a good win against a real solid Missouri team, man. Mizzou's played good ball. Got a 4-point win in that one. Come back from down 6 at half. That was a good win.
Yeah, that's actually was a good game. You actually called that game. Like you said it was going to be a close one. You said that. Both of us said it. We don't think that the Vols would cover, but I think it would be a close one. And you were right. But the Vols did scare you with that when you took that 9.5.
They did, man. They did. I was sweating bullets, man. That's one thing about it, man. You and I both are gamblers. You get to that last leg of that parlay, you got to be able to sit on a red hot stove and piss ice water. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to. But that was a good game there. Lanier, he started shooting the ball, and he started looking like that's why we wanted him here.
Yes,
We got to have that Lanier the rest of the way. The rest of the way, no questions asked. Got to have that out of him.
and you're right, man. I mean, the guys are starting to play together again, man. I think they finally found their identity. They know who's the guys that's going to make the plays. We know who's going to shoot the ball, and we just got to I think we got to find our big man that holds it down in the paint where we know he's going to get the offense or the defensive rebounds and hold the other team in check because that's where we lose our batters and we end up losing the game is because we get our rebound.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Not having JP this year, that's hurting us. He like we talked about it before. We talked about it last episode. I think he's not a premier big guy, but I mean he's a big body and he's a big defender, and it's hard to shoot over somebody that dang tall.
You're right.
Hard to push him around too. Milicic had a good game, 21 points. The man was 8 for 10 from the field, 80% from the field. Can't beat that, man. Man, I tell you, Missouri, they're gritty, man. They're gritty, and I'm glad we don't have to play them again. At least not till the SEC tournament.
Yes, I mean, it's always been a scary team, man. I remember when when Konzo went out there.
Yeah.
And I think that was the beginning of their era where they became like, I guess you want to call them a basketball school in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we know they're really not I don't want to say not a football school, but I guess that they got to be a something school, End of the game, 67% from 3, 50% from the field. It was good to see them like we kind of been saying, they're starting to get hot, starting to get that rhythm back. And I think we're starting to kind of see a theme here. Like we've got our big three, so to speak, with Z, Milicic, and Lanier.
Yes.
If two of those three have a good game, chances are we're going to win. If all three have a good game, we're winning.
Yes, I agree.
And I want to say too, Agpara, he's playing good ball. He's protecting the rim. He's impressed me with his free throw shooting too. It's better than what I'd think it would be for a man his size.
Well, in today's time, man, I mean, free throws should be easy now. I mean, because the guys in today's time, they all want to shoot the three. So free throws should be money for the guys now.
Right. Milicic is a very good 3-point shooter for the most part. And that's kind of, maybe it's because he come from Charlotte and I didn't watch him play a whole lot before he came here. But he's got a good 3-point shot, and over the last week and a half or so, you've seen ever since he got hurt, kind of see Z coming back out firing from three, and he's looking pretty pure right now.
Yeah, he's got to stay active, man. I mean, he's got to continue doing his defensive presence, dishing the ball out because he has a chance to break the assist record, right?
Yeah, and he actually just tied somebody for it, I don't know. I'll have to look into that some more, but he's up there, like he's close, real close.
I think it was like he was like 70 away from being number one.
Yeah, he's close, and I mean, if he stays healthy, chances are he's gonna get it. I mean, I was looking at it earlier, and he averages
7.5.
Yes, 7.5 a game, man. I mean, 7.5 assists a game. That across the next 10 games, he should get that. You know what I mean? So as long as he stays on par. But then, man, we go out to Norman, kind of like we did in football season, and take them out. So that was one of those games. Both teams come out hot, but seemed like defense slept in early there. The noon game came out. Both defenses came out kind of sluggish, but.
Yeah, but we went on a hot streak, man. We were not missing anything from three for a point in time right there.
No, man. The first 10 minutes of the game, it was back and forth, kind of close. But man, after that, it seemed like the defense or the Vols defense on that end of the court finally woke up. Didn't look back. Went into half 45-25. And that was pretty much all she wrote, man. Ended up coming out of there with a 70-52 win. So, hey, get it how you can, man. But like just to touch on some things there from that game. 60% from the field, 43% from three, 35 rebounds to their 21. And that's how good the defense was, man. But they held OU to 32% from the field and 26 from three. Only knock I got from that game, we had 19 turnovers to their 12.
Yeah,
that's a little sloppy.
We gotta fix that, man. Like that's just too many turnovers. So we gotta fix that.
Well, and then that's like, the Mizzou game, we didn't have a lot of turnovers, but Mizzou made the most out of just about every possession they had. And Mizzou's actually a really solid 3-point shooting team. They hit about 10 a game, and if you hit about 10 a game, that's going to keep you in a lot,
Yeah.
So let's I'll dive into some stats here from that one though. Lanier 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 for 10 from 3. Z had a damn near double double, 17, 9, and 4, 3 for 4 from 3. So from that Oklahoma game. So we're starting to get it together. We're starting to see what we need to see out of them about this time of the year, and we'll see what happens here the rest of the way. But man, this has been a good little run we've been on. Like we say, we're starting to come together, and fun to watch. It's fun to watch. And I think that a lot of we've got a tough stretch coming up the rest of the way. We know who's up next. We've got to go up to Rupp. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes in another episode. Then we got Alabama left, another Vandy game. Who else? Let's see here.
Well, we got Bama coming up too now. Bama, they come to us, so
they do come to us. That'll be a good one.
So that should be a good game too.
Let's see here. Let's pull this up right quick.
Oh, and we get Ole Miss after that. So Ole Miss is a tough one too. So and we got. I mean, we pretty much got a great schedule that
We do.
because the majority of our games are home game the rest of the way out. We only have
Yeah, we got to go to Rupp.
one away game the rest of this season, I think.
We've got, let's see here, we got to go to Rupp. Vandy comes to town this coming Saturday. Then we get a week off. Got to go to Texas A&M. Then to LSU.
Yes.
And then our last 3 games, we got Alabama at home.
Ole Miss
Ole
away.
Miss, got to go to Ole Miss, and then we round out the season with South Carolina for senior night. So I mean, it's tough, man, but life is tough in the SEC. Don't matter what sport it is, football, baseball, basketball, underwater basket weaving, it don't matter. Don't matter. Better bring your A game the whole rest of the way. So, buddy, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to talk about Kentucky. Let's throw a bow on this one right here and get into that one just a little bit. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right, buddy. Well, in this one is how we always end it. Go Vols, and we'll be back here in a bit.
Sir, go Vols.